Here's how it begins. Mrs. Bobbin, the dressmaker, was tired and had a bad headache, but she still managed to sew the last stitches in the gown she was making. "It's the most beautiful dress in the whole world," said her daughter Irene. "The Duchess will love it." "It is nice," her mother admitted. "But, Dumpling, it's for tonight's ball, and I don't have the strength to bring it. I feel sick." "Poor Mama," said Irene. "I can get it there." "No, Cupcake, I can't let you," said Mrs. Bobbin. "Such a huge package, and it's such a long way to the palace. Besides, it's starting to snow." "But I love snow," Irene insisted. She coaxed her mother into bed, covered her with 2 quilts, and added a blanket for her feet. "And don't forget to button up. It's cold out there and windy." Irene put on her fleece-lined boots, her red hat and muffler, hard against it. By the middle of the pasture, the flakes were falling thicker. Now the wind drove Irene along so rudely she had to hop, skip, and go helter-skeltering over the knobby ground. Cold snow sifted into her boots and chilled her feet. She pushed out her lip and hurried on. This was an important errand. When she reached Apple Road, the wind decided to put on a show. It ripped branches from trees and flung them about, swept up and scattered the fallen snow, and got in front of Irene to keep her from moving ahead. Irene turned around and pressed on backwards. "Go home," the wind squalled. "Irene, go home."
Did you enjoy? I enjoyed it too. That was my first time seeing it as well. So I also enjoyed it. So let me hear from all of you about this story. Let's start with Mrs. Bobbin. What was Mrs. Bobbin's profession? What did she do?
She makes dresses.
And who was she making a dress for?
For the Duchess.
For the Duchess. But what was going to happen? Why did she need the dress so quickly?
For the ball at her house.
That's right, for the ball at the palace. Right? Very good. Now, when she finished the dress, she was not able to deliver the dress. Why was she not able to deliver the dress?
Because she was sick.
She was sick. How did she know she was sick?
She fell down on her bed, so she looked like really sick.
So she looked very sick, and her forehead was warm. She had a headache. She was very tired, right? She was so tired she couldn't sew on the last button. So she sewed on the last button, but she was very tired, and she knew she was too sick to deliver the dress. Very good. So Irene, her daughter, said she would take the dress to the Duchess. But before Irene left to see the Duchess, what did she do to take care of her mother?
She put the dress in the big box.
Yes, she did. With what else did she put inside the box with the dress?
Dress.
The dress and some tissue. She had tissue and the dress. Yes. Okay, that's one thing. She did actually a lot of different things, right? One thing, she packed up the dress with tissue and prepared it to take to the Duchess. What else did she do?
She wear red hat and coat to leave the storm.
That's right. She put on the right clothing to protect her from the storm. She put on gloves, she put on her boots, she put on her coat. But what did she do to make sure that her mother was going to be okay while she left?
She take a kiss to her mother. 6 times.
Yes, that's right. She gave her mother, she Gave her mother 6 kisses. What else did she do?
She put the fire on.
That's right. Yes, she put more logs on the fire. Do you remember what else she did?
She tucked her bed in.
She tucked her mother into bed. Yes, she tucked her mother into bed. She covered her with what?
Okay.
With blankets, right? With 2 blankets and a 3rd blanket for her feet. Very good. And then what did she make? She also made something.
Tea.
She made tea. That's right. She made tea for her. Yes, with honey. Yes. She made tea with honey for her mother. Very good. Then she was ready to go. Yes. Now, where is the palace compared to from her home? I don't. Did she? Maybe did they say north? I may have missed that. If they said it. What are? It's far. But what did she have to cross to get to the palace?
One big mountain.
Yes, that's right. She had to go over the mountain to get to the Duchess's house. Very good. Now, who was her enemy? What prevented, who was trying to prevent her?
Wind. Wind and snow.
Wind and snow, that's right. And what did the wind say to Irene?
Go home.
Yes, go home, right? He told her to go home. Did she think about going home?
No.
Just for a minute, she did.
Yeah.
She considered it, just for a minute. But then
changed mind.
Then she changed her mind. Very good. Yes, she thought for just a minute maybe she should go home, but then she pushed ahead and continued her mission. Okay, so after that, the wind, she struggled with the wind, and the wind was so strong. How did she have to walk to keep walking? You know, let's try to talk in full sentences, okay? Instead of just saying one word answer, then let's try to answer in a full sentence. Yes. How did she walk?
She walked back.
Walked back. She had to turn around and walk backwards to push back through the snow, or the wind. And the snow, it was getting deeper and deeper and deeper. What happened when the wind was so strong and she let go of the box?
Irene was put down in the snow.
She fell in the snow. Yes, that's very good.
Just her,
Let's raise hands.
and her boxes and head.
Say it again.
She left her head and hand to the boxes just under the snow.
Right. She dropped the box onto the snow because the wind was so strong. She let it go. She let go of the box. She released the box because the wind was so strong. What happened to the box?
She was skate with her box.
Okay, say it again. She
was skate with her box.
Okay. So we're jumping ahead a little bit. Let's stay back a little bit. But you're right. You are right. But what happened when she dropped the box? When the box fell, what happened next?
The dress was gone.
The dress was gone. The dress flew out of the box, right? The wind took the dress and it flew away. So poor Irene. Poor Irene. Imagine how her heart must have felt. Her mother had made this dress and it was gone with the wind. So, Irene, of course, was very sad, and what did she wonder? What did she wonder about the reaction of the Duchess and the reaction of her mother? What was she thinking? What was Irene thinking?
She thought the mother will understand me. to the floor where you get her dress.
Her dress, right? She wondered. She said, will my mother understand? Will the Duchess understand? She didn't know. She didn't know. She was thinking, maybe, I hope they understand. But she didn't know. Okay, so what did Irene want in that moment? What did she want?
Hug from her mother.
She wanted a hug from her mother. That's right. Very good. She wanted a hug. She wanted to be warm. She wanted to be with other people. So Irene was continuing her walk. And what did she see? Yes.
She saw her mother make the clothes.
That's true, but before she saw the clothes, what did she see next?
She saw a bright.
Sorry.
She saw a bright palace.
Yes,
Yeah.
she did. She saw it glowing, right? There was a glow of this palace, and she thought, that's where the Duchess must live. So she continued to walk to the palace. But then what happened to her body? What did she step in?
She fell in the snow.
She fell in the snow, but what specifically, what happened to her foot? Do you remember? That's right. She twisted her ankle. Her foot fell into a hole, right? A hole in the snow, and she twisted her ankle. So she was in a lot of pain. And she got buried in the snow. She couldn't move. She was buried in the snow. Why did she decide to make her body loose and try to get out of that situation? What did she think about that made her try to escape that situation? What was she thinking? Yes.
Because she thought she had to go there.
To the palace?
Yes.
Yes, she did. She did think she has to go to the palace, but that's not enough for her heart to try with all of her body to say, I have to get loose and I have to escape. What was she thinking? What was she feeling in her heart?
She thought of her mother because of her mother was very sick, so she want to tell some help, want some help for the palace people, and give some dresses, find the dresses.
She wanted, yes, so that's true, exactly. She thought of her mother, and that is absolutely correct. And what else did she think, though, with her mother? Think about Irene. Think about this little girl, you know, and she's had a really hard time. She's freezing cold. She lost this dress to the wind. This is such a treasure. She's probably really hungry, and now she's hurt. Her body is hurt. She has a broken ankle, and she's buried in snow, and she's about to give up. And she thought about her mother, but what did she think about? What is it about her mother that made her decide to have more strength?
She thought about her mother's face.
She did. She thought about her mother's face, and she thought, what if I never saw my mother's face again? What if I never saw her face again? Any child would want to do anything to make sure that they find their mother again, right? They want to see their mother again. So that was the biggest motivation for her to try to break out of this situation and free herself. So even though she was sick, even though her ankle was hurt, even though she was tired, she tried her best because she wanted to see her mother's face again. So she's free now. She wants to go to the palace, but she has a twisted ankle. How is she going to get to the palace? It's down at the bottom of the hill. How is she going to do this? Yes.
When she go to the palace, she escapes at the back.